All right, man. We're just gonna go with it. We're just gonna go with it, man. We're just gonna go with it. Run it back, nation. What is good? It is your boy DJ Eastwood on the laptop with no microphone right now. This is the 4-point play. Tone to Shields the second. Jay the Bull. Unc Dove.
What's going on, man? What's going on?
What's up, y'all?
I'm having technical difficulties. The rig updated the Windows 11 and it ruined everything for the time being. So I can't hear myself talking right now. It's kind of weird, but we're still here. And this episode of Run It Back Philly is still brought to you by Manscaped.com. Go to Manscaped.com, get 20% off and free shipping with the promo code NOINTRO Lawnmower 4.0. You need that. Yeah, man. What's going on, guys? How's everything going?
Everything's solid, man. I ain't got no real complaints. Life good right now. Family good. You know what's up with y'all fellas down below? What's going on?
Same old, man. Working hard. You know what I'm saying? Putting that time in, trying to make everything happen.
AJ, you muted, I think, bro.
Oh, I got you. Was that me? Did I mute you?
No, I don't know.
There we go.
We killed everybody. No,
happy belated to my man Jay the Bull, man. Come on, my man turned that dirty 30. That dirty 30.
Big 3-0.
I ain't want to be the one that had to bring it up, so I appreciate you bringing it up, my guy. Give him a good shot.
Bro, you already know I got you, my guy. You family, dog. How we get down.
Jay, how do your legs feel? Do you feel like James Harden at all?
A little bit, man. I was feeling that at 29, so I know it only go downhill from here. So,
what's up to everybody in here? 65 people, man. Hit the like button on the stream. That would be greatly appreciated. As I said already, this is the 4-point play. Yeah. So it's June. You know, Sixers talk. Not a whole lot going down right now, but I keep looking at the camera that's not on. But
it's all right.
But there is a story that came out yesterday or the day before that James Harden. They're trying to rope me back into this. Okay, they're trying to pull me back.
I feel like
in.
it is for you. They try to get the people like you back on board.
Yeah, they're trying to pull me back in. Listen, man, believe. Sell me hope. James Harden is working out with the trainer that he worked out with when he was in Houston, specifically in 2016. In which he averaged 36 points per game that season.
Was that long ago?
Was his name Paul Flatfritz? Something like that.
Yes. Yeah, the guy holding the baby in the photo.
Wait, so it's so funny because in the midst of us going live, right? Somebody gonna put in the live chat. Wait, which one's the trainer? Is it the grown man or is it the baby holding? Like, I'm like, yo, y'all ruthless, man. But this guy that he's working with, I'm assuming he hasn't worked with him lately, I guess.
Yeah, I don't think he's worked with him since 2016.
Now, what changed? Like, why did he start working with him in the first place? Like, do we know
That's
that?
a good question.
Yeah, I don't know, actually.
I don't know that. That's a good question.
Daryl Morey left at some point. The Rockets, the guy, Daryl Morey and somebody else left right around the same time, right?
Okay. Did Daryl Morey leave in 2016? Yeah. That sounds about right.
No, Daryl Morey left a year.
I thought
Daryl Morey was still there when Harden was left.
Yeah, no. What happened was I think Morey left first.
Morey did leave first, I believe.
And then they brought in that seat. See, Morey left, I think, over the off season, I think. And then he came.
And then James left in the middle of that season.
Like the beginning. It was when
it
was when they hired that black head coach. It was when they had John Wall and all those guys.
Oh yeah, the bull from Dallas.
Right. Harden came in a little, looking like a Teletubby. You know what I mean?
He did, or it was a fat suit.
Right.
Yo, I'm not gonna lie, man. I never seen somebody like cut weight like that. My man like a prize fighter right now. Crazy.
Or he just ate like right before he came out, so he was super bloated. Maybe I don't know.
Yeah, the Philly cheesesteak.
He does seem to be able to shed weight very fast.
I need whatever he on for real.
But yeah, I don't. Do you guys think it's possible for him to be back to that level? Because personally, I just think, personally, I think that's just not even possible at all. Some people try to tell me that it is, that 32 isn't too old, and maybe you're right. But for me, I just need him to get back to what he was doing in Brooklyn, which he was on the list for MVP voting. That was without Kyrie and Durant and all that stuff was going down. But I just posted on Twitter today a screenshot of a YouTube video, James Harden 37-point triple-double, and the video was posted 4 months ago. So House of Highlights dropped a James Harden triple-double highlight video after a game just 4 months ago. Does that sound right?
No.
Oh, man.
He said no. Nope.
Well, here, okay, so can I go first? From what I've heard about this guy, Paul, that he's working with, his specialty is athletics and durability, which honestly, James probably need more than anything of his game. Being able to be more durable during the game, last longer, than get his athleticism back up. So, and then one thing he did say, I don't know who quote this came from, but it was a quote in there that said that maybe he can't get him back to Rockets Harden, but he should be able to get back to Brooklyn Harden. And I'm fine with Brooklyn Harden. So if that's the ceiling that we're reaching for, and they think it's obtainable, I'm with that. I'm willing. I mean, it looks like we're gonna have to deal with the guy another season. It doesn't look like he's going anywhere. So anything that's going to give me some more optimism about what's going to happen this next season, I'm for it. So Tone did raise a good question though. Like, why would you even ever stop working with a guy like that? But we can also make the argument that this is probably the most year he ever looked out of shape, and needed a specialist of a sort. So it makes sense that if I struggled in those areas this season, let's hire the guy who specializes in it. And they say he's one of the best in the league, so let's go with it.
Yeah, he just looks to me, Harden. Like if you pay attention to him this past season, like it just seemed like, I don't know if it's the braids, I don't know what it is, but he just be looking winded all the time. Like he just seemed like everything is a struggle these days, man. Like, and look, I like James, and we should all be hoping the best for James. I understand people got their jokes they want to crack about James. I get it. They got their agenda narrative. They want to spew about James. I get it, right? But at the end of the day, he's going to be here next year 9 times out of 10. He'll be a fool not to, because Iron, at this point, he's playing more than just for a championship. He's playing for his respect and his legacy at this point. And he can't afford to go into a new situation. This is the best situation he's going to have till he decided to kick the bucket in his career. Like, he's not going to get another situation as ready-made as this one. What I mean by ready-made, he has a superstar big man that can dominate anybody in front of him. So there's never going to be a situation in his career where he's going to have this level of talent around him. You think about Tyrese Maxey, a kid that's up and coming. That's the kind of guy you probably want to get next to if you're James Harden. He's going to take pressure off you from a scoring perspective, right? So that's probably the kind of guy you want to get next to. Joel Embiid, he's in his prime right now. You literally have a great situation. You have an up-and-coming 2 guard or up-and-coming combo guard, however you want to describe him. And you have a big man in his prime who was a runner for the MVP. There's no better situation. There's no better situation where he's going to have guys of this caliber next to him. And let's be totally honest. As much as the East has gotten better, it's still the East. And I feel like James is not going to get it any better than where he has it right now. So he got to be a fool to look for another situation. He's going to be here next season. I think we all should just really hope for the best, regardless of whatever.
For sure.
I agree. Yeah.
Speaking of his opt-in contract, his player option that he, I'm reading that he's some websites say he would be a fool not to, or he's definitely going to opt in, but others are saying that basically the Sixers could possibly try to force him into waiving it or opting out and signing a long-term contract for less money, because after that 1 year, are they really going to offer him a 5-year max contract? You know what I mean? I mean, he would have to make a serious jump this offseason from what we saw just a couple months ago to be worth a $270 million max.
Right. Question. He can actually. So his situation is this, and I'm trying to get a feel for it, and then you could probably answer for me. Is his situation where he opts into his final year of his deal, and then he signs the extension? He can sign the extension at any point after he opts in.
Yeah. The opt-in is just a 1-year contract. Yeah.
Okay. So got it. All right. I just wanted to understand the dynamic of his situation. All right. Yeah. Honestly, if he's a betting man, he's better off not signing any extension and just opting in and playing the season, with no contract and just trying to get the most out of it.
And if he does that and he looks like he looked this
if he looks trash,
if he does that and he looks trash, then what? Then you got to be like, all right, see you later, bro. Like, you know what I mean? Because you're not giving him a super max.
Right. So I guess are you guys a fan of giving him the extension this offseason or giving him the extension mid-season? Like when do you guys think the extension should take place?
Well, it's also this. People want him to opt out and sign for lesser money over like a 3 or 4 year contract, because if he does opt into that $47 million, the Sixers are capped out unless they trade Tobias Harris,
which they should be doing. To be honest,
microwave time.
So if he opts into that $47 million, it caps us out. You know what I'm saying? Unless we trade other big contracts that are on the squad.
Tobias got to go. I'm sorry. I mean no harm, but I ain't gonna lie. I've been over Tobias for the past couple of years. Like I need him to bounce. Like he ain't got the mentality. Like he ain't got the mentality we need in the city. I'm sorry.
No, he doesn't. I mean, you have three max contract players, and only 2 of them showed up. So a lot has to happen. But
just think about what the Sixers could do with that money. Like if James doesn't opt in, and Tobias also goes, we can rework our bench. You know what I'm saying? We can really get things moving. Like we can look like a completely different type of squad here. Well, not a different squad, but just the squad with some. You know what I'm saying? The things that we needed, the things we were missing. Like I just feel like, and I mean, we got the guy that could do it. Like, and Murray, we trust, right? I know we kind of got away from that because how like our season kind of ended, but we trusted this man to get us in shape, right? Let's trust that he'll do that, man. Like I'm thinking around after the draft, he's going to really start making some moves. So maybe even before the draft, like
I've never been more reliant on a draft pick ever as a Sixers fan. Like I need this guy.
No, I'm just saying he might start making his moves.
No, I'm with you. I'm with you. I'm with you. But I'm just saying as an aside, right? Me personally, I've never been more reliant or more hopeful for a draft pick. Like please, like because remember Brooklyn, Brooklyn deferred to next year.
Yeah.
Right. So we get our first round pick this year.
Right.
So I'm praying whoever we pick, they had that.
Looking at, by the way, let's talk about that.
They had that Tyrese Maxey level impact. You know what I'm saying?
Who you guys looking at, by the way? If you are looking at anybody,
as far as draft picks,
yeah,
I ain't gonna lie, man. He might not fall, but I like that kid Jalen Ivey out of Purdue. Like, I love that kid, man.
Wendell Moore Jr. is his name, out of Duke, also. 6'5" wing, 3-point shooter, 3-and-D kind of guy. But I think the first question is, should they draft somebody or should they package the pick in a trade? Because
go ahead.
Yeah,
I feel like that's where we're going with this. I don't think I was going to say it before where I posed that question that we're probably going to like just look for it because we're kind of in win now mode. Another article just dropped that I really agree with was that the window on Joel Embiid is closing. We can't wait for a rookie to come into his fruition. You know what I'm saying? Even though I agree with you too, Tony, we haven't had a pick. Well, we had a pick not too long ago, but it didn't pan out. So to get a pick that actually pan out, you know what I'm saying? That'll be awesome. But you know what I'm saying? I'm looking forward to getting the best out of Joel Embiid right now. You feel me? Like
I'm just thirsty, y'all. I'm sorry. I'm just.
That's okay.
I need something to shake. I need something to shake. You dig what I'm saying?
Nah, I feel
We all do, man. Seriously.
But if they pick a player, go ahead, Dove.
I was gonna say I'm not too fond of this year's draft, so I'm not even gonna lie. I don't know who we could get. I know what we need. I don't know who we could get out of this draft that's suitable for us. So I'm gonna take y'all word on this one.
Yeah, I think you're in win now mode. You're right, and you're trying to capitalize on Joel Embiid being in a superstar level right now. And there's two things here to drafting a player at 23. Is that player going to have an impact year 1 or year 2 or year 3 in the NBA? Like, there's very few players that have an impact right away that aren't number 1, number 2 overall pick. And number 2, would Doc Rivers even play the kid?
I think that should be number 1, to be honest.
Like, what do you even play? What's the point?
Yeah,
he doesn't play anybody under the age of 30.
Right. The kid, or he has to be playing out of his mind, like Tyrese Maxey, like just so much in his face that is undeniably you have to play him, basically.
What about the people who already got? Anybody that we already got, you think should get a fair chance next year?
Say that one more time, Dove.
Anybody that we already have, do you think anybody that we have on the team already presently should get like a fair shot next year? Nobody old like
the kid Bassey. He need to get some time for real. Like I don't understand. You're
right, Tone. Just to even see what he could do, because even if he's like not what we think, at least we could get it out the way. Like just put him in early in the season, see what he could do.
That's what I'm saying. I feel like Doc Rivers really missed an opportunity to find out what he had in his young players last year. Like, when Ben Simmons wasn't playing and you obviously wasn't going to make a move into the trade deadline, you should have had those young guys out there getting crazy minutes. And then in reality, you probably could have, because look, at the end of the day, in the NBA, no one really cares about their seeding. They just want to get in. As long as you're not a 7th, 8th seed or 9th or 10th seed, you're good.
But now with the play-in, you don't want to be there.
Right, right. As long as you're a 6th seed and above, all right, cool. Like maneuvering that. Remember, before the trade, we were what, the second team in the East, and then we ended up coming into the playoffs being a 4th. But my point is, like, this team was, up and running like prior to the trade, and we gave up a lot, but at the same time, like, you didn't find out what you had, so to make giving up a lot. To make yourself feel comfortable giving up a lot. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you would have had Charles Bassey playing at the beginning of the year, which I don't understand how you don't get those guys minutes that first month or 2 in the season, like, that is the perfect time because it's easy for you to bounce back if you guys go on a little slump. Like, it's not hard to bounce back in the NBA season. But Doc Rivers just act like, I got to get all my veterans reps. No, actually, you should be giving those guys rest.
Yeah.
And let those guys, playing a long game. You know what I'm saying? But I need to find out how good Charles Bassey is, because if Charles Bassey really can come off the bench and be that rotational guy and give you that athletic presence, being able to, do those high pick and rolls, you got to run in transition, get boards, that would be amazing. They could take so much pressure off Embiid.
It's weird too.
Number, man.
What happened? Who number?
Somebody get Doc's contact information immediately, because he needs to hear this shit. Where the guy that donated the $200 at me.
What's weird too is that he's really like the only coach like that. When you really think about it, all them old guys, man, their asses be on the bench, bro. Who's that guy? Haslam? He took on a captain role because his ass wasn't going to get any minutes. That's the same thing we should have did with with fucking Andre.
We got low risk, low reward playing 30 minutes.
Exactly.
Low risk.
That's what I'm saying. Reward. He should have took on a captain role. He should have came in and playing close every game.
That's
just ready to do this.
And also, you saw what happened when you play a 36-year-old player that many minutes for an entire season. Danny Green, bang, torn MCL, torn ACL. Like, you know what I mean? If you're going to play people that many minutes, that many games, maybe it should be the 21-year-olds. Maybe it shouldn't be the 36-year-old veteran that's out there 40 minutes a game, 82 straight games. You know what I mean? That could be a reason that Danny Green ended up injuring himself in that playoff game. But yeah, Doc wasted this whole second half of the season because there's not even really an argument for it either. And he was just on another podcast defending himself, talking about what we did in Orlando was amazing. And in Boston, if Kevin Garnett didn't get injured, we may have won a whole bunch of championships. Like he talks himself up so much, it blows my mind. But the end of the second half of the season, there was no reason to play Paul Millsap and DeAndre Jordan because you weren't prepping those guys for the playoffs. Did he think they were going to play in the playoffs? No. He was filling them in for Joel Embiid when he was out, and there's no reason to do that. Why would you not play the young guy that can get some minutes and learn something and see what you got in? But he won't even budge on it. It's crazy, actually. I've never seen a coach do what he did at the end of that season. And that's why it's hard for me to buy back into this Sixers team this season because Doc Rivers is coming back.
It's crazy because, it's crazy, man. I ain't gonna lie, man. As crazy as Doc be acting, man, I actually like Doc Rivers. But
the person?
I like Doc Rivers, the person. But then his coaching is so sketchy. His reasoning behind things sometimes is highly questionable. And I'm just really looking forward to seeing what Daryl Morey does because I know Daryl Morey is like the demon of the NBA. Like a lot of organizations, a lot of teams, fear Daryl Morey because he just know how to make something shake, man. Like he know how to pull a rabbit out of a hat somehow. And I'm really curious to see what he does. What do you think? What do you guys think is going to be his first move?
About that D'Antoni noise that was going on for 6 days.
I don't want D'Antoni near here.
So you got D'Antoni over, or you got Doc over. You keep Doc over D'Antoni.
I don't like neither.
If you had to choose, right?
If I had to choose, I ain't gonna lie, man. If you bring D'Antoni in here, we ain't playing no defense.
That's up to the players.
We just threes and layups all day. Threes and layups.
The Rockets played defense,
bro.
Do you think that was the system? You think that's D'Antoni's system, or was that D'Antoni trying to build the right system around James Harden in Houston? You know what I mean?
It's a little bit of both.
That's a good question. I mean, I say it's a little bit of both because he kind of had the same system in New York.
Was he the same? Was he the coach that was the analytics guy? He wanted to be like the analytics coach. So real
big on threes and
it backfired like hell.
Right. Right. Didn't he coin the 7 second offense or something like that?
Something like that. But I remember one time
you score in the first 7 seconds of the shot clock.
That sounds exhausting.
that's
run and gun.
No, seriously, that's how he played. That's how he had Houston playing. Houston was getting up so many threes in a game. It was ridiculous.
Yeah, I remember. I remember this.
The season, they shot more. They led the league in 3-point attempts that season, and then in the playoffs, in a pivotal game 6, maybe game 7,
nothing was dropping.
I know
they missed an NBA record 27 straight threes.
Straight threes. I remember that.
I watched that game. I remember exactly where I was. Wow. I was at what's the spot down Copa's? Copa is it Copa?
Copa?
Yeah. I was at Copa Banana, something like that. Copa something.
Copacabana.
Yeah. I was down there. I was watching the game. Me and my lady, I'm watching the game. I say, yo, babe, let's go and get a good cheeseburger. You know what I'm saying? Let's go to the little bar, relax. I'm watching the game. I'm like, yo, what's up? I'm like, what's going on? I never seen it. Like they playing like they 8 years old playing 2K. I didn't get it. It was crazy.
I mean, that's why you can't live and die by the 3. I mean, you can, but you gotta die by it sometimes. That's why it's called live or die, because some days that's why it's a hard thing to build around, man. Nobody's ever shot the 3 that good.
They was dead.
Yeah, you can't. You got to have Steph Curry and Klay Thompson to live and die by the 3. Ever since,
and even sometimes they have bad games.
Yeah,
to be honest.
Ever since they went on that run, though, that's exactly what was happening. The NBA was trying to emulate that, except you don't have Steph Curry and Klay Thompson.
Exactly.
Right.
You just don't.
And my thing is why try to beat them? Why don't you create something that's designed to stop them? You know what I mean? It's just because at the end of the day, the NBA, like all leagues for the most part, are copycat leagues. You know what I'm saying? They, when they see something that's working consistently, they try to replicate it. But you gotta take in consideration they have two unique players, arguably two of the top 5 best shooters of all time on a roster, and you're trying to replicate that. You can't. So what you have to do is you have to create a system that is designed to work around that or somewhat limit what they do. You know what I mean? Like to me, I think it's lazy coaching to try to replicate things that you ain't got the right, you ain't got the personnel to do. So I think that's lazy.
Yeah, you should try to counter things.
Very close. I think the Rockets kind of countered them. Like no BS, bro.
They came the closest. I give you that. They came the closest.
Paul didn't get hurt that year.
They won that series. Man. No, I ain't gonna lie. If Chris Paul don't get hurt that year, they won the NBA championship that year. Because you wanna know why? Cleveland went to Game 7 with Boston that year. Remember? And they barely got by. They barely got by him. Barely. So Cleveland was on one leg where LeBron was by himself. That was the perfect time to steal a championship. But
Harden wasn't beating down.
Was that the year that LeBron beat the Indiana Pacers on a buzzer beater in a Game 7, and then he beat Boston in Game 7? Man, he was on a one-man tear.
He was literally on
a one-hand draw.
Yeah.
He was literally a one-man band man that year. Like Kyrie left with the Boston. Man, then Kyrie was hurt, so he didn't play that entire playoffs. And Boston forced him to 7 games. And I ain't gonna lie, when I saw that, I was like, "Yo, Boston coming. They gonna be there at some point."
They did though. And
look at them now. And exactly. And it's just like, I'm sorry. I really believe that Houston Rockets team, could have beat that Cleveland team if they got past the Warriors. I really believe that because they could have beat. They could have. Yeah, they could have.
Let's bring D'Antoni in. That's what I'm hearing.
I like D'Antoni over Doc.
You do?
It's just me. Yeah, I do.
I like D'Antoni over Doc, but it's like D'Antoni over Doc, but I don't want either of them.
Yeah, it's like Dan, if you do
Doc has no offense.
I just want somebody younger and like we're giving away assistant coaches every other year. Monty Williams in Phoenix, and now I never know how to say his name, but in Boston, both of those guys were Brett Brown assistant coaches.
Shit, we got Dave Yeager on the bench.
Well, he's
right. He got health issues though.
Yeager been a head coach before. He used to coach the Memphis Grizzlies. And then he used to coach the Kings, and then he reverted back to an assistant because not everybody.
He was on that analytics shit too, though.
Yeah, not too many guys get too many cracks at it.
He was heavy on it.
Yo, you can't make it
because he's a developer of talent.
You can't make this up though. This is true. The one game that Doc Rivers got, he had COVID. He was out for 5 days. He missed 2 games. Those 2 games, Dan Burke was in charge. We won both of those games. And Isaiah Joe had 18 points in the first game on a Monday night and 11 points in the second game on a Wednesday night. And as soon as Doc Rivers came back, you never saw him again.
Yo, you're right. And we got that coach from the Pacers. He was the Pacers assistant. Man,
listen, when you have a team like ours, I think we a type of team like that benefits off coaching, and that's what I keep saying about Doc. Like, I think Doc is a guy who just does good on like a team with like superstars, solid stars, old veteran players. Like, I think he would have actually been a really good coach for the Lakers because that's the type of players he liked to play. Old ass players who've been around and pretty much don't really need to be talked to. Because, like, think about it, them veterans, they don't really need nobody in their ear like that. Like, imagine LeBron actually need a pep talk from Doc Rivers. That's not needed, but it's needed here though. Like, our players need that here because they're not, you know what I'm saying? Like, not that. So
I think these players need somebody that's really going to coach them up. Like, that's what I'm saying. I really don't believe. I stand by this. Like, I really don't believe it was a talent issue against Miami. I don't think it was a disparity of talent.
Maybe they were more talented.
Maybe they had pieces that fit better, but I don't think it was a talent issue at all, man. Like, I really felt like it was a hustle and grit issue.
Absolutely.
And it was a coaching issue, if I'm being completely honest. Like, how you lose 2 games straight, your best player come back, y'all won 2 straight. You should have put your foot on their necks at that point.
Yes, absolutely. Doc is a cheerleader. Does he even do that? And I want to just to go back to that last comment. The last one, he needed a team for the 18-year-olds. That was hilarious. And also, I think Doc Rivers will lose his effing mind.
He'll lose the shine on the top of his head that he got.
Yo, he was just going there forfeit the game. We were like, "Oh, we can't play." We were like,
we don't have old enough players. We can't play.
Can you imagine Doc? Can you imagine Doc coaching in college? Oh my god.
He'd be the worst team in the league, man.
Like water,
think about what like Eastwood say all the time. His championship team had 4 Hall of Famers, bro. Like who?
It was just their time, bro.
Brett Brown could have won with that team, bro. Like that's not a hard team to win with. Like let's just be honest. Like and the fact that he only walked away with one, that should be looked more like an L than a dub. Like don't get me wrong, you want to win a chip. You won one. That's great, but let's think about it. They should have won more than that. Like they should have won more than that.
You got to give credit to Kobe and Paul Gasol, man. They took it to him.
They did. But Kobe only had Paul. Think of what you just. But listen, what you just said. 4 Hall of Famers.
Bro, that Lakers team. Bro, Lamar Odom was in his prime, bro.
Lamar Odom was balling. You're right. I forgot about Lamar.
What's my man named Ron Artest? My man was throwing balls.
You're right. You're right.
They had Big Bynum.
Derek Fisher was back on that team.
Good that season.
Yeah,
that was his best season.
That Lakers team had a little squad.
Yeah, Andrew Bynum dunked on Shaq and retired. That was it. He's like, I'm done. I'm done. I dunked on Shaq.
The funniest little back and forth ever.
It was funny, man. That was funny, man.
Andrew Bynum is like the ultimate finesser. Like
Andrew Bynum was crazy. He was slaying coaches' wives and shit. He was
my man was a bandit.
Yo, that's wild.
I seen him before the bowling alley up near Salt.
Who?
Oh yeah.
Bynum.
Hey, yeah, no wonder you saw him at a bowling alley. He had shit else to do in Philly. Might as well go bowl.
I remember Stephen A. Smith used always say how he used to drive little cars. Like, you 7 feet, bro. Why are you in a Ferrari? Like,
bro,
I can't even fit in a Ferrari.
Yo, how much they gave him again? Like, what was that contract? He ain't played like a single minute. He ain't played a single minute for Philly.
You're the only dude I never suit up. Like, not once.
Can't remember the different hairstyle.
I was just about to say they came with a dumbass haircut every other week because he didn't have nothing else to spend his money on.
Bro.
What did he do again? He tore his ACL before he ever played a game, or what?
I don't know what it was.
ACL, I don't remember, man.
I don't remember, man.
He was rehabbing an ACL tear, and I just don't think he ever got back on the court. But I think he
never played everything. Never played again after that. I don't think, right?
I just know Harden has to work out just off the strength that every time the Sixers seem to have traded for a big name, it has never worked out. I mean, you go back to Chris Webber. Remember that debacle when we thought we actually had something?
See, Webb was done. Like not.
He was done. That's what I'm saying. But then it's not supposed to be excited about it, about getting him. We were still happy we got him.
We was naive. We was little. You know what I'm saying? It was C Webb, man. Like C Webb was great in his time. But it was like when we got him, he didn't have no knees. We always get players and they ain't got no knees.
This is actual facts. He re-injured his ACL in a bowling alley.
Yo, it was that day you saw him.
Yo, Dub.
It was that day you saw him, Dub.
Yo, Dub, why you ain't stop him, bro? What's up?
You could have saved the season, bro. What you doing?
Dub.
I thought I remembered that story. Bynum did not play a single game for the franchise as he suffered an injury in a bowling alley.
Dub.
And he's riding a punch buggy.
Yeah, he probably tore his ACL in a Ferrari.
Right. Getting out of that small-ass Ferrari. In that
like 7-1, man.
Joseph Hudson, what's up, man? Thanks for the support. We lose games because we don't play smart in crunch time. We have the most dominant big man in the game. Instead of putting him in position to succeed, we don't even run plays in the fourth on the block. We had the same complaints about Brett Brown, and we thought that was going to change, and it ended up being kind of the same thing. Like when it's crunch time, we're just like, here's the ball, go figure it out.
By the way,
coach and Embiid.
They said Embiid's working on finishing around the rim this season. This offseason. I'm so excited for that. I feel like that's his worst contribute as a big man.
I don't think so.
He don't finish around the rim, Dub.
He does.
Not for his skill, his talent. For MVP level, he should finish around the rim a lot better than he does. I'm going to stick by that.
He does. He just doesn't go down here.
I might have to go with Jay a little bit on this. Like he could finish. He could finish a little better.
Just
He
he leave a lot out there, bro. He leave a lot of points on the floor and not knowing how to finish around the rim.
He's sitting there around.
Now, question. Now, that's what I want to get to. Like, I think
it's more of a consistency.
Is it really a lack of skill or is it a lack of opportunity?
It's consistency. He doesn't consistently be down there. Like you have to be down there.
His bag not that big.
Because if it's up to me,
he can't do anything. Are you crazy?
I ain't gonna lie. If it's up to me,
I'm talking about around the rim. His bag around the rim.
What bag does
he gets clogged, bro. He gets clogged around the rim a lot.
I'm not gonna lie. If it's me, he living in the paint. If it's up to me, he living there. He bringing a stripper bag. He bringing all that. A Lunchable. He bringing a backpack. He bringing a tent. He living in the paint.
I remember.
But why do you think he does it? I'm just ask y'all. Why do y'all think he doesn't live in the paint?
Coaching.
Because he don't have the bag big enough.
That's
around
not true, man. That's not true.
Bro, you can make an argument. He got the deepest bag as a big man.
No, yes. Remember I said last week he's a jack of all trades, but a master of none. I'm saying, is he good enough around the rim?
Man, he got.
Yes.
Is he good enough around the rim? He get his cookies ate a lot. Or when he go up and he looks for the foul a lot. Let's also not forget that. Around the rim, he also looks for the foul too much.
Are you talking about ability?
I agree.
Are you talking about ability?
I'll give you that.
Just knowing when to hit what step you need around, like just depending on the play.
No, you know what it is?
What step you need to hit to get the ball in the basket. He struggles a little bit, and especially a high pressure.
Jay, I'm gonna tell you why. Jay, listen, I'm gonna tell you exactly what it is.
I get so mad when you start talking about Embiid, man.
No, listen, real quick. Listen, you want to know exactly what it is?
Guy.
And it's the curse of the gifted. Okay. He's so talented. You ever watch him play and he overcomplicates simple things?
That's what. Okay, but that's still the same thing.
No. I don't think it is. Now that I think about it, I don't think it's the same thing because it's not a talent issue. It's a processing issue. I feel like he tries so hard to showcase the variances of his game.
Things he could do.
Whereas when in reality, your game, listen, you could do all that stuff when necessary. Listen, we know what you can do already. Now, just keep putting the ball in the hoop. They can't stop you. Nobody's stronger than you down there. Nobody as skilled as you down there. Just finish. But I feel like there's times where he overcomplicates the most simplest of opportunities, and I think that's the problem. And that goes back to coaching.
Okay, well, I think it also goes down to practice. So if he's working with a guy who specializes in finishing around the rim, I don't think it would hurt at all. I think it would actually helps a lot because he doesn't seem to know exactly what to do down there all the time. And then, come on, who finished better around the rim, him or Giannis?
Giannis is a little different though.
All right, but I know some different. Like Giannis finishes better, right?
Because he dunked on everybody.
Because Giannis ain't got no tricks. Giannis ain't got no bag that's deep enough. So that's why he keeps his game. His Giannis game is very simple. Euro step, spin. He just got a jump shot.
So why can't Embiid be with that Giannis trait?
Because he's more athletic. The curse of the Giannis is more athletic, but also again the curse of the gifted. He's so talented
because he can't shoot.
Yeah, that too.
I also think Giannis gets away with playing very physical, whereas if Embiid tried to do the same thing, he's getting offensive foul calls every time.
I do agree with that. I don't see Giannis getting that many offensive fouls called on him. Like it seems like
murder.
He lowers his shoulder every play, man. Every play.
And he walks all the time too. He walk his ass off all the time.
This person says Embiid inside. Embiid. Oh, he already put it down.
No one can feed Embiid inside.
He hasn't had nobody to feed Embiid, or nobody to feed Embiid until Harden got there. But the thing is, though, I'm looking forward to this season with those two because I feel like their chemistry didn't never really hit the stride. Because when you go back to when Harden was working with Capella, those two guys were in sync. When you talk about
two different players, bro.
Do you want to know why? Because Capella bag is not as deep as Joel. Like when you that talented. Like
you get to stick to one or two things. I get what you're saying.
Capella's job is very simple. Capella's job is very simple. High pick and roll,
right?
Catch the oop. Get the offensive board, putbacks. His job is very simple. A guy like Joel Embiid is more on his plate, so you're gonna give him the ball on the block. Tell him to go to work.
Player.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
so I just noticed like a couple of times they were missed opportunities. opportunities between.
I agree with you. I agree.
There's a little bit of a disconnect between when the ball is going to get lobbed or when the pass was supposed to come, and I just think that's something that comes together more with working with somebody longer. That's all I'm just saying. Like they'll be able to hook up more for more fast baskets this next season, I believe, because they will be working together longer. You know what I'm saying? So
I see what you're saying.
Do you think this upcoming season Tyrese Maxey can be that number 3, that solidified number 3? Because we saw flashes of it. We saw flashes of it, and then you saw him kind of regress a little bit in the playoffs when the Heat got turned up. He looked more like
no pun intended.
Yeah, when the Heat got turned up, yeah. He just looked more passive and a little less aggressive when the pressure was on. And I just think that's being a young guy type of thing.
I think. Go ahead.
Harden should have led by example.
I'm glad you said that, Dub, because you know what I think it was. I feel like there's a moment as you get deeper into the playoffs, you start to look to your veterans to show leadership, and yeah, your chin ain't funny. Like there's a moment where, especially as a young guy, the deeper you get into the playoffs, the more you start to look to your guys that can get their own shots, the guys that's your veterans, the guys that are your superstars. You start to look to those guys more to make things happen. And I feel like what happened in that second round was you saw Tyrese Maxey looking for his stars, looking for his leaders to be them, instead of Tyrese Maxey saying, you know what, look, y'all ain't gonna do it, I'm gonna do it. You know what I'm saying? I feel like Tyrese Maxey became, like you said, passive. I feel like he started to really follow the leader instead of trying to create his own lane and be the leader. Because let's be honest, Maxey had opportunities to score. He just kept looking, dribbling and looking around. And I'm like, bro, just go. Nobody on their defense can really stay with you, like, you know, from point A to point B. They said Tyrese Maxey led the playoffs in fast break scoring. Like, he can get to the basket at will. Now, eventually, he's going to earn the respect of the ref and get more to whistle. But I just feel like he became passive. He was looking to his stars, and his stars didn't come through. You know,
he finished around the basket amazingly, by the way. Just my bad.
Yo, I ain't gonna lie.
That kid can finish around a fucking
two young players that I love their layup packages, Maxey and John Morant. I love their layup packages, bro. It
might be 1 and 2. I don't know who, like, as far as young guys. The young
guards, like him and Maxey, like, you know, Darius Garland got a nice bag too. But it's just like like, I ain't gonna lie, in my humble opinion, Maxey coming out party was that head-to-head matchup against John Morant. Took it in overtime, closed the game. Like that was a huge game for his confidence, for his resume, in my humble opinion.
Yeah, and I think they should have fed off it a little more. I don't think the coaching staff did a good enough job of being like, okay, look what he can do. Let's now make him more of a focal point of the offense.
Right.
They don't know how.
And when I say staff, I just mean Doc Rivers, because I don't think he listens to anybody. He put together.
I don't either. That's his problem.
He put together a superstar coaching staff. All these guys could be head coaches in the NBA, and he doesn't listen to any of them, I don't think.
You better listen to Sam. Sam was a better scorer than you any day, Doc.
Yeah, I remember. I actually feel like I seen a dispute of that on the sideline. I think it was when Paul Reed came in and did something stupid almost immediately. And I saw Doc look at one of the coaches like, see, like, like you can tell, like, and who wants to deal with that? Who wants to deal with a guy that's like, think he's so right that when he do finally listen to, he waits for the first opportunity to tell you you're wrong. You know, like
that's when he did that fast break dunk.
Yeah, it was something like that.
I felt bad. I felt bad for Reed. I felt bad for Paul. I felt bad. I like Paul Reed though, man.
The thing is, you gotta let these guys do something stupid so they can get their shit together. Right? They gotta get that shit out. You know what I'm saying?
Why does he care so much about the regular season? Why does he care so much about games in, you know, the end of the regular season? Like, just let these dudes play.
Man, it's really a mind fuck, honestly. Like, it's like, Doc, you lose nothing. You have everything to gain and nothing to lose by playing your young guys.
Yeah, and then when Paul Reed had the great game that he had, it proved him wrong, because DeAndre Jordan was getting smoked on the boards. Paul Reed comes in, gets like 9 rebounds in 30 seconds, and everybody's like, see, we told you. And he comes up to the press conference and says, we're not going to have a Paul Reed celebration tour. And he was angry.
I'm not going to lie. When he said that kind of, I ain't gonna lie, that's the kind of stuff that breaks your spirit as a player. Like, it's like, damn, like coach ain't got my back. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like you didn't even have to say that. All you had to say was, yeah, Paul did have a great game. We're going to see if we can try to find more situations to put him in. You
did not do it because you're not going to do it.
No, but here's my thing.
Young player.
That was his ego talking, and I didn't like that, man. Like what did you gain by essentially throwing your player under the bus like that when he played hard for you? He got his opportunity and did his thing, and now you just say, "Oh, listen, don't think he's gonna get all these minutes." That's demoralizing.
Outside looking at it, it's funny to hear somebody say some shit like that.
That's demoralizing.
It's crazy.
Can you imagine? Can you imagine being with somebody in a relationship and then you doing everything and everybody notice like, yo, man, your dude, like your girl, like she do everything, man. She do everything. Then you be like, well, listen, we're not gonna sit here and relax. All right. Listen.
She ain't all that.
She ain't all that. You know what I'm saying?
She's all right.
You should taste her cooking. It's like, damn, like what's up? Like she done did this, did that. Like, relax, bro. Show love.
I don't see. Do you guys see the Sixers winning a championship with Doc Rivers?
Nope.
With enough talent, if we get a lot more talent this season, maybe.
Yo, we need talent.
A lot more talent.
I never thought.
How much more talent we gonna get?
No, listen, real quick. I never thought I would ever think.
Like I was saying,
we need talent to overshadow bad coaching. Like that is crazy to me.
It's terrible.
Why does the fan base have that opinion, and it doesn't seem like any part of the management has that opinion?
Why did they hire him?
Here's the thing. He's only been the type of coach that worked with an extreme amount of time. Well, I don't know always. You got to kind of go back to his career. But since Boston, he has had some of the best players in the game and haven't been able to get it done.
Yo, he is literally Brett Brown with NBA experience. Like, what do they do
better
differently?
teams? Brett Brown never had an opportunity to squander a team like the way Doc Rivers has. He has had some of the most talented teams. Remember when they first formed and the Clippers with Kawhi? Everybody said these guys had it. Like, it was no doubt about it, bro. This man literally gets the most prepped teams for winning and somehow don't win. He don't win with them. So it's crazy. I mean, I'm the guy that literally just said with more talent, he could get it done. But obviously, it's been times when he had all the talent in the world and hasn't gotten it done.
You got Kawhi and Paul George. You don't get to the Western Conference Finals. Like, what's up?
That's wild, bro. That's so wild.
Yeah. And then Paul George comes out and says that he was using him wrong. And he said he was trying to use me like JJ Redick coming around screens on like corner threes and stuff.
That was the first year I'd ever see so many players around against Doc on that one. They really threw Doc in the bus on that one. But here's the thing: I think it was warranted. It wasn't
Paul George shit wasn't all Doc though.
Huh?
The Paul George stuff wasn't all Doc, but I understood a little bit.
Yeah, because he was playing like trash on Doc,
right?
But think about it though: do bad coaching make you play like trash?
It's not the first time Paul George did that.
That's a good question.
That's the only thing I'm saying.
That's true.
Paul George might not be the best example. Maybe Kawhi.
Yeah, because let's keep it a buck. Like Damian Lillard was giving Paul George gas. Like,
he hit one. He gave him 40. He gave him 40 in his face.
Right, and Paul George supposed to be a top flight defender. He couldn't hang with D-Lil.
Shoulda, woulda, coulda.
Mm-hmm. My man gave him the bye-bye, the baby bye-bye.
So when we start this upcoming,
I saw that live too. Like that shit was crazy.
When we start this upcoming season and Doc Rivers is coaching the team, I would say he's on. Would you say he's on a short leash? And if so, what do you think the limit of that leash is? Like they start 0-10 and he gets canned right away.
Like,
oh no,
just based off Doc Rivers getting
Yeah,
I can't see Doc Rivers getting canned in the middle of the season. Not Doc.
I can't. Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. He got to go on like a 30-game losing streak. Like,
basically.
Why does it take that much to fire Doc Rivers?
Because his name, bro. Like
strictly his name.
I don't agree with it, but it's his name, bro. Like he got too much clout in the NBA. I don't know how.
Why?
Like let's just keep it. Let's keep it 100 right now. He's probably the most pronounced black coach in the league right now. Like as far as like credentials and. You know what I'm saying? Notoriety. They can't fire the number one.
Well, look. Hold on. Well, you know what?
Like
if Mike Tomlin, yes, they can.
Hold on, real quick.
Mike Tomlin of football, basketball.
Hey,
Like the Mike Tomlin of basketball.
Eastwood, put that comment up by
He's like the Mike Tomlin of basketball. I agree.
RXP Nasty. He says fire him like the Phillies did their coach Girardi. Now here's the interesting thing about that point.
I'm with you, homie.
Here's real quick. Here's the interesting thing about that point. Joe Girardi is a World Series winning coach, and he still got canned. So Doc shouldn't be exempt at all.
No,
it's very similar. Very similar too. He only has one World Series ring with an overpowered Yankees team.
Yeah, they beat our Phillies. This was crazy.
Well, bro, we
almost two
Brett Brown
beat
get extra years.
Who did they have? Derek Jeter, Gary Sheffield Jr. Like
A-Rod, CC Sabathia.
That
They had CC
wasn't
Sabathia.
fair.
They had
That was a crazy team.
Man.
So it's the same situation. Anybody could have won that World Series.
Yeah, man.
We let Brett Brown get away with murder for more years than he should have. I don't trust the Sixers fighting coaches.
I kind of get why they let Brett Brown hang around a little bit because he hung around through the process. He hung around through the process, and they said, "Look, we didn't even give him a real shot." Actually,
how much time did O'Brien get?
You talking about
for when C. Webb came? He got like 1 year. C. Webb said that was the worst year of his career.
Listen, I'm with y'all, man. Like I'm on the Sam Cassell train. Like, come on.
Doug Collins or Doc Rivers?
Doug Collins.
I had to throw that one. I just wanted to see what y'all had to say.
Hey, listen. Doug Collins.
We already saw what Doug Rivers could do.
No, Doug Collins had the bum team playing good.
He did, right?
That's what he brought the most out of Tony Roten. Like,
at least we saw what Doc Rivers could do with an MVP candidate. Not much. So let's at least see what Doug can do. That's what I'm saying. I would love to see Doc Rivers switch with really with a young team, just to see if he's really this like because everybody keep crying. Oh, he gave it to the number 1 seed 2 years in a row. Yes, with an MVP on his team. Let's see what he can actually coach. Like, what can he actually bring to a team that needs good coaching? I don't think he's that good of a coach as the job.
No,
yeah, that's good.
I don't think none of us will disagree with you, bro.
That's good. That's good. You know, it's crazy, man. Like Doug Collins, like he really did have those guys playing a buddy pay grade. Like he got. I ain't gonna lie. He got Ish Smith a contract. Like Ish Smith, man. It's crazy. Man, those were I ain't gonna lie, it was rough. I ain't gonna lie. Around that time, you couldn't catch me watching Sixers games. It was like the plague. Like it was bad.
So who do you guys got? Celtics or Warriors winning this series?
Ooh, I'm be honest, man. I'm very much on the fence, man, because like it's. I don't want Boston to win because like that means that they're better than us. Like, I don't want
for sure.
No, I know they are, but it's like if Boston wins, I feel like we gotta wear that still. You know what I mean? And if the Warriors win, I could say, oh, that's what they do. Like they been did that. Like I don't know, man. Yeah. I think the Warriors gonna end up winning the 7. Like just because like the Warriors, like they've been there before. Like they've been there.
I'm gonna make a bold prediction. I don't think Boston wins another game in the series.
Whoa,
it's bold, but I really do see that happening.
They definitely not winning game 3.
But I can really see that happening though.
Because
that's interesting.
The run they went on in game 1, they shot like 70% from 3.
The perfect game.
Yeah, that's not what happened.
Every time somebody has a perfect game like that, they get exposed. Right.
Al Horford was 6 for 8 from 3. Al Horford was 6 for 8 from 3. Come on.
Like
Derek White had 20 points.
Not our money.
Then the next game, he came back down to earth.
I say this. I think the Warriors got it. I think I had them in 6, but I was not going to be mad, to be honest, to see the Celtics win. Like, let me ask you guys this real quick. Are you guys like these like old 76er fans who hate Boston? I think we're kind of young. I just turned 30. I wasn't around for that big rivalry. Like, I don't know, when the Celtics were good, Sixers was trash.
Bro, they've been kicking our ass.
I mean, I never liked Boston.
Boston been kicking our ass for the last couple times we played.
Right. Well, that's what I'm saying. But I'm saying I never looked at it as this big rivalry like a lot of older Sixer fans look at it. I'm not a better than this.
I don't like Boston
because all the best teams in the league for most of the NBA history is the Lakers, the Celtics, and the Sixers. Except for the last 40 years, we've been nowhere. But outside of that, outside of that last 40 years, we were in the mix. We were one of those teams. So that's why I hate Boston. But
like the best.
I get that.
You're right,
That's what I'm
Eastwood.
saying. I get why older generations didn't like Boston as much, but I don't really get why somebody our age don't. Like, we haven't been really that competitive against them like that. Except for the last couple of years since they got Tatum.
I don't like nobody else in the East.
Yeah, for real. Like, I mean, those type of teams.
I hate the Cowboys and I hate the Redskins and I hate the Giants.
Oh well, no. See, that's different with football. Hell yeah, I hate everybody in our division, especially the Cowboys. But for some reason, when it comes to basketball, I don't really get that invested into the rivalry. I just don't.
Can I say something?
It's not really designed that way. Like,
I never hated the Redskins because they were never a threat to win anything. Like,
I never really hated them either, but I
never cared about the Redskins. I don't even watch the games when we play the Redskins. I will this season. Carson Wentz on the Commanders.
That's really good. That's perfect segue. Perfect segue. No, yeah.
I just wanted to say that the Sixers are going to win the chip this year for the 40th anniversary. You know how the league do. I'm gonna leave that there. Come back at me next.
That's a bold prediction. A bold prediction.
Write it down.
The Sixers are going to win the championship for a 40th
anniversary.
Of no chip. The Cavs did it. The Bucks did it. It's our turn.
So what is that? That's next season?
Yeah, next season, 2020.
Oh, I didn't even know that.
Wait, the 40th anniversary of what?
Not winning since we won the last chip.
Oh, okay.
No, imagine this. This is how long 40 years is. Imagine if you were like 20 the last time they won, and like the next year you were still excited, and the next year, and then you're 61, and they still didn't win again.
Don't do that, yo. Don't do that, bro. Because I ain't gonna lie. I'm terrified that might be an Eagle situation. Like,
oh man, that's not.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, the one thing I can say, I'm glad I got to experience that when I had my youth. I still got my knees. I still got my knees. You know what I'm saying? Right. But no, like, I'm glad you brought that up. I'm curious. Like, you know, the Eagles is a very interesting case because they got everything in front of them. The only question really is the quarterback position. So, like, how do you guys see us faring in this division right now?
Yeah, I never got all of your guys' opinions on Jalen Hurts, by the way. Like whether you think he can become a franchise level like winning quarterback.
Whenever you're ready.
I'm ready. Go ahead.
To be honest, I never really liked Jalen Hurts that much. I was the guy saying hold on to Carson Wentz, even though I'm kind of off that bandwagon now. But I just think I see Jaden as like that athletic quarterback, but he's not as good as any of the other ones. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't see him as being as good as any of the guys before him.
Baby McNabb.
So why, you know what I'm saying? Like, why waste time on him? I'm sorry, but that's just, I hope he proved me wrong, but that's just how I've been looking at his game lately. Like, his arm is terrible. He's fast, but not that fast. You know what I'm saying? Like, he just doesn't equate to, he's like, he average out. He just averages out. Like,
I'd rather have Tua?
No.
Got real quiet.
No. Listen, I want to see what Jaden do this season. I think this is my final season of seeing what he can do because we did some really good moves this offseason. So it's no excuses this year.
We did go to the playoffs with Devontae Smith only getting like 50 catches.
Yeah, Devontae had.
Bro, we got to the playoffs with like most lucky.
It doesn't matter. We got it,
bro. Wait. I wouldn't call it luck. I wouldn't call it luck.
People were saying we was going to win 4 games.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
I was going to win 4 games.
Look at the games we won. Like, the quarterback was missing and all of those games. Like, it was circumstantial. And this is the thing is, I get what y'all saying, but
NFL, everything's circumstantial. It's the NFL.
It's a win-win.
You're right. That's fact.
It's the NFL. Everything's circumstantial.
Here's what I think.
Here's
what I think about how that went down. I think Sirianni was getting roasted for not running the ball and for having Jalen throw the ball 40 times a game or whatever. And then he said, fine. And he switched it all up, went heavy screen, heavy option, heavy, and ran the ball 47 times a game. And we had the best offensive line in football, one of the best offensive lines in football. And we just ran over a bunch of bad teams throughout the rest of the season. It didn't really matter that much to me because I was watching how we were winning games, and I was like, okay. Like, we're smacking the Redskins and whoever else and the Giants and actually we lost to the Giants, a game that we should have smacked them, but Hurts that was his worst game of the season. But
his career.
I didn't care that much because I knew when we get to the playoffs and he's forced to throw from the pocket, I knew what was going to happen, and that's exactly what happened.
Tampa Bay
right?
exposed that man.
Like for me, it's very interesting because this team. Like I like to talk about things in context, right, and really put it in perspective. Like, let's be totally frank about this. A team that everybody thought was going to win 4 games. Everybody thought we was in a major rebuild. He found a way to squeeze out 9 wins, and they got into the playoffs. Now, granted, they did expand the playoffs, but they ain't got nothing to do with him. He came in and did his job. But they managed to go 9-8 in a season where everybody had them winning 3 or 4 games at the very most. That says something to me. And he has flaws in his game. That is without question. But in my humble opinion, I don't think it's really a question of arm strength, because I feel like the arm strength conversation gets a little bit overblown, because not many quarterbacks in the NFL have a Josh Allen arm or have an Aaron Rodgers arm. Not many of them do. There's more quarterbacks in the NFL with an above average arm than that elite power arm. What he needs to really improve on is the accuracy, the anticipation, being able to throw guys open, the ball placement. If he can improve in that area, because in my humble opinion, the way this team is loaded, if he just plays at a top 13, top 12 level with this talent, with his skill set, I think this team can really be very competitive and really upset a lot of people going down the line. Because if he shows that drastic improvement, because again, it's all about the improvement and whether the Eagles believe he improved enough to buy in. Now, I believe in him. I want him to be the guy, because if he is the guy, that helps our situation in the long run. You got 2 first-round picks going into next season in the first round. You better pray to God. Like, that's why I don't really get where people root for his downfall, because you better pray to God we don't have to draft a quarterback. You know what I'm saying? Like, and at the end of the day, when you draft a quarterback, people get so wrapped up in you got to find your Josh Allen, you got to find your Patrick Mahomes, or find your Joe Burrow. And my thing is, those guys are not as easy to find as you think.
Not easy to find at all.
They're not easy to find at all. You know what I'm saying? More teams fail to succeed in those situations. And let's be honest about this. The Bills could have easily screwed up Josh Allen, but they got the right people around him. So it's really about the situation. And I'm looking forward to Shane Steichen being the full-time play caller this year from beginning to end to see how that turns out. I just think Jalen Hurts is in a situation where it's all on him. It's sink or swim. And best believe they are not going to put a report on him. It's not going to be a parachute.
Well,
here's my thing with so all the things you said he needs to improve on.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think he can improve on them? Because those are the same things that were in his draft profile. Those are the same issues he had in 3 years at Alabama and 1 year at Oklahoma. He hasn't improved on them at all. I know people keep saying he only played 1 year. I'm talking about like high level, the best universities in the country. He hasn't improved on those things. So people hoping that he does that in this offseason when he hasn't done that for how many years? I just don't see it. He doesn't have the accuracy.
I get what you mean. My retort to that would be he hasn't gotten a consistent level. He hasn't gotten consistent coaching at any point in his career except for going into this season, right? And I think that plays a lot into a player's development. And it also goes. It also when you think about the offenses he was a part of in college, he didn't have to be.
Why can't I bring up his draft profile? Why can't I bring up? I think
he did because a lot of times draft profiles don't be as accurate as people believe, but his has been pretty accurate so far.
It's insanely accurate. It's on the money.
My thing, my overall thing. That's funny.
Yeah, it was.
My overall thing is, we have no choice but to bet on him this year, right? And I think we all should be hoping for the best for him, because if he does well, it puts us in a better position. And like I said, I don't think Jalen Hurts is ever going to be a top 5 quarterback. I don't think that's ever going to be the case. But if he can squeeze his way into that top 12, top 10 space, if he can find a way to squeeze in there, then that's fine. Because let's be totally frank about this: the best quarterbacks the best quarterbacks don't win a Super Bowl every year.
I was about to ask you both those questions, and you answered them very weirdly.
05 Eagles.
Can he be a top 10 quarterback? And when the last time a top 10 quarterback is not playing in the Super Bowl? So So tell me, who are some of these quarterbacks that wasn't at least top 10 that made it to the Super Bowl?
I feel like Matt Stafford was always
no.
I
I said the best quarterback, like the best quarterback doesn't win a Super Bowl. For example, Aaron Rodgers, he's been the best quarterback for the past 5 years, 6 years, easily.
Okay.
Last time he won a Super Bowl was what, 2010, 11? I can't remember when. You know what I'm saying?
I'm
so
saying
like
the quarterback
my whole point is it's really the stars have to align. The stars have to align. And you have to be in the best possible position to succeed. And South Tex, he on my channel. That dude, he a Cowboys fan. Pay him no mind. But
Bryce Young is nice though.
The thing is, and Bryce Young. Here's my thing, right? And I met Bryce Young in person. Real good dude, solid dude, humble dude, man, real cool.
Kaepernick
was able to have a conversation with him, real solid. But my thing about Bryce Young is not a talent issue. Can his body withstand a 17-game season in the NFL? I met him in person, bro. He's smaller than me.
No, he can't be a quarterback. No disrespect.
No, listen. I'm telling you. No, I'm not spicing it. I'm not over exaggerating. Look, I'm 6 foot flat. I weigh about 220. He's smaller than me. That's like when I saw him,
he could be Russell Wilson.
When I saw him, I'm like, he's like a kid.
Russell Wilson is special.
I need my 6'5". I need my 6'5", 250. I need my 6'5", 250 quarterback, bro. I need that.
I need a quarterback over 16. I need
Sign
a
Cam.
Over 16.
Sign Cam is the backup.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just that. Like I just feel like, I understand he has to improve, especially because he's on a timeline anyway. Regardless of how we see it, he's on a timeline because his contract.
Every quarterback in Philly is.
No. Hear me out though. Like because of his contract, he's literally on a timeline. Like he has to show that he can be the guy because Philly has positioned themselves to get a quarterback in this draft or maybe trade for one that becomes disgruntled in the offseason. Things happen all the time, but this kid. He literally has no choice but to get it right. And my thing is, if he does get it right, if Jalen Hurts finds a way to get it right, we all have to admit it can get scary for the NFL with his athleticism. If he can figure out throwing the ball, if he can just become more accurate, that's it.
They said he has an improved throwing motion. That kind of makes me nervous because now we're changing his whole mechanics. Is that what we're doing here?
Well, his mechanics was the issue in the first place. Like, with quarterbacks, they build them quarterbacks, they're built from the ground up, not from the top down. So his problem was footwork. His problem was his hips. You used to see him literally loading up to throw deep balls all the time. Here's my problem with these reports saying, he looks sharp in 707s and all that kind of shit, right? Here's my problem with all that BS. You can't judge a man or gauge a man, in my humble opinion, in 707 drills when no D lineman trying to take his head off. No, you can't judge him on that, right?
No, it's all clickbait. That's just beat reporters that want to get 10,000 saves and retweets on their or favorites and
right.
Like
and that's cute. And that's cute. But my thing is you want to find out what you want to find. See, and another thing they talk about his improved.
It's like Ben Simmons shooting videos.
Like exactly. you want to talk about. You want to talk about his improvement in his throwing motion. You want to talk about that? Okay, let's see how that looks when somebody trying to take his head off. Because let's see if he resort back to his old habits. You know what I'm saying? It's easy to improve when nobody trying to come at you. But when things get a little hot in that kitchen, are you going to resort back to your old habits? That's
Somebody
answered my question about the quarterback.
There you go, Jay.
Yeah, he came right at me. Eli wasn't in the league. Sure. Joe wasn't in the league. But I'm saying they had great seasons. Those seasons, though, they were top. If you see what they
Flacco had an average season. That defense was lit.
Jimmy G, bro.
But this is what I'm saying, though. The bar is this low. We're hoping that Jalen Hurts is Trent Dilfer.
No,
I don't know. I'd rather I want to watch an elite quarterback play for a lot of years. I mean, I don't know, man. I get
what you're saying. I get it. They're hard to find. I totally feel you on that, Eastwood. I'm with you, but they're so hard to find. And if you could find a way to get Jalen Hurts to a level where he can if Jalen Hurts can make all the throws, maybe he's not as elite as everybody else, but if he can make all the throws that he needs you to make, if he can make the throw you need him to make when he needs to make it, and you consistently surround him with talent, you can be very formidable.
I think this could be a good team.
Is he better than all those quarterbacks he just put up there?
Who was it again? I can't remember. Who he put up again?
It was
Flacco's Super
Eli,
Bowl year was nice.
Jimmy,
Flacco had
Jimmy
an arm.
G.
Trent
There's a couple
Dilfer.
people. Trey Dilfer, is he better than those guys? Let's
Trent
just be
Dilfer was
honest.
a backup. He was a backup that won the Super Bowl. That was pretty interesting. He came in for the Ravens when
The game
I wasn't
manager.
really talking about him, but like Eli Manning.
Yeah.
Like, is this if his ceiling is Eli Manning? Can he get Eli Manning? Can he be better at Eli Manning?
It's hard to
Y'all
say that
believe
because
he better than him?
he a run first quarterback, so it's hard to compare them to.
Yeah, I know it's hard.
Yeah.
I get that, but I'm just saying on the strip,
Eli got-
like who
I
would you
can
go
say
into
that.
battle with? Would you rather go into battle with Eli Manning or Hurts?
Today, Eli
He said
Manning.
today. That's
Yeah,
right.
today, Eli
Whoa,
Manning.
what?
We were
Today.
smacking Eli Manning around. We were giving him 3 concussions a game, man. We were beating him up. They didn't even have concussion protocol back then. I don't think.
He'd wake up, he'd get up, take
I
his
remember
helmet
we
off.
ripped his jersey one year. That was wild. We ripped his shoulder jersey.
Yo, we were doing him dirty.
hell.
You were allowed to
Wow.
blindside hit the quarterback. You were allowed to do. Man, you were allowed to do all
I
kinds
seen
of stuff.
Connor Barwin like damn near slapping.
Hey
his
yo,
face on-
like real quick, a fun note about Joe Flacco. Like that year they won the
He on
Super
the
Bowl.
team?
No, Joe Flacco was like he's nowhere near a team right now. But
On the team?
I'm trying to think that year Joe
was
Flacco
an
won the Super Bowl. What year was that? 2011.
2013.
Was it that long ago?
He got the max
When the
contract the
Ravens
year
won?
after.
No, what
Ravens
year
won
did he win the Super Bowl?
2013.
I gotta
I
find
don't
out.
know. I thought it was sooner. than
Oh,
Oh
that.
no, okay, no,
2013.
it was 2012. Okay, 2012-2013 season. Okay, so the 2012 season, right? In 2012, they went 10-6, and he only completed 59% of his passes. He was asked that year.
Ass? How many
Bro,
touchdowns he had?
22 touchdowns, bro. Come on,
How many yards?
How many picks?
Yeah, how many passing yards?
22 touchdowns, 10 picks, bro. He only threw for
10 picks
3,800
is
yards.
pretty good. 10 picks.
Game
How many,
manager.
how many touchdowns?
That means he
did
didn't
Hurts
turn the
have
ball
last year?
over. Where was the turnovers?
He was a game manager. That was it. Yeah.
He because
Game
they
manager,
had
yup.
that's because their defense was elite that year.
Oh yeah,
It was.
Ray them dudes doing a dance and everything. Yeah, he was
Yeah,
doing that shit.
that's what Suggs. Suggs had his best year that year, didn't he? Like
Now, what I will say is this, though. What I will give him credit in this regard. When the playoffs started, he wasn't accurate, but he was hitting them touchdowns. I ain't gonna lie. He had 11 touchdowns in the playoffs.
How many?
Kobe, he was throwing them bombs.
He was letting it rip. I ain't gonna hold you.
He had 11 touchdowns in the playoffs. That's half.
He had
more
11
than half
bro,
of what
he-
he had in the regular season.
Yo, he had 11. He had 11 touchdowns in the playoffs, and he was averaging almost 300 yards a game. Like in the playoffs, I ain't gonna lie. He got lit. He got hot, but he wasn't accurate at all. Like he was really just slinging it.
All right, so
Right.
if I had to make a prediction, because I think this Eagles team can be good, like the roster from top to bottom, the safety position is really the only thing that I think is still kind of a question mark. But
it's shaky for sure.
But offensive line, defensive line, running back rotation, like wide receivers, tight ends, and you got Nakobe Dean. We finally got some linebackers and edge rushers, and
Smell like 05.
yeah. So I think they can be good, but I wouldn't be shocked if they get pretty far and they still change quarterbacks, kind of like the 49ers going to the Super Bowl with Jimmy G, and there's always these trade talks every day because they're like, yeah, you didn't blow us away.
No,
Right.
the team was
That's a
good.
good point. Yeah, I get what you're saying. Like he's not the guy, so we gotta still move on.
That's what I'm saying. Like that's why I feel like he
So he got Kyler Murray.
That's why I feel, and I'm not sold on Kyler Murray either, bro. Stop it. Like that's why that's why I feel
Get back
like
to that.
his improvement. We're gonna get back to that, no problem. But that's why I feel like his improvement is very interesting because he has to improve enough, not just from a winning perspective. They need to actually see it in game. Like he needs to improve enough where they can say, oh, okay, he took his game to another level. You know, even if they go win the division and maybe win a playoff game, is it really because of him or was the team really just lit that year? You know what I'm saying? So it's like you really have to find that balance. But now let's have a Kyler Murray conversation because your man is shaky at best.
He's shaky.
Yes. Did you watch this playoff game? My man made business decision after business decision. Yeah, yes. I know. That's what he did. He choked like my man made too many business decisions for me. Way too many. I can't trust
Got a
that.
high ass QB rating though.
I don't care about none of that. When it mattered most, what did he do?
I feel
Well, South Texas is a Dallas fan.
Yeah,
God bless South Texas. God bless.
He said,
I
"God
don't know
bless."
how.
Imagine
Those
being
Cowboy fans. I would just tell you this: they are religiously hopeful every season. I don't know why are we going? Why are they going to sweep us? What makes them think they're going to sweep us? Like last year, we were terrible. We actually have a squad now. Why would you be so confident to say that?
And the Cowboys win. The Cowboys are the best on paper team every season and never do anything.
Never do anything.
My whole life.
I wouldn't even say that now. Going in, I wouldn't even say like that we're going to definitely sweep the Cowboys. Like I'm not saying that, but you know we could. Like I'm not saying
we
that.
Are.
But we.
Cowboys they're not as good as they were last year. Last year was
shout out to them, man. They are.
I thought the Cowboys year was last year,
bro.
Listen, bro, I'm not sold on the Nickelodeon Player of the Year. Like, I'm not sold on that.
Who's the Nickelodeon Player of the Year?
Was it Kyler Murray?
Dak Prescott. Like,
Dak Prescott was the Nickelodeon quarterback of the year.
Don't do Mr. Dak like that.
The Nickelodeon Valuable Player of the Year. Like, I'm cool. Like, I'm cool.
Did he even have that good of it? What did he do last season?
Dak had a year. I ain't gonna lie. Dak had a year. Dak had a year.
Left though when he got injured,
as soon as it got to the playoffs,
came back out.
Listen, this guy had the ball in his hands in a playoff game with 15 seconds on the clock, no timeouts, and he ran down the middle of the field and slid. Game over. Season over. How do you do that?
Guess it's something a kid would do. That's why.
Only person
like when a kid choice of word.
Only person on the team I like was the linebacker, the rookie linebacker bowl.
So Michael Parsons.
Yeah, I felt bad for him. Other than that, man.
Listen, you heard AJ Brown. AJ Brown went at him in a softball game. He said, "Listen, get your popcorn ready."
AJ Brown is going to get busy this year.
I'm telling you, AJ.
That's McNabb and TO 2.0.
I will say AJ Brown can fit the style of offense that they run with the quick slants and things like that.
Fit. He's a perfect fit.
Yeah.
Hit him with the slant, open him up, and throw a bomb.
He balances Devontae's game so well. Like our wide receiver room looks very complete to me. If you ask me, what's your thoughts on that?
I love her. That's the thing I'm most optimistic about our wide receivers.
It's been a while.
I feel real good about them. What you say? Go ahead, Doug.
I said it's been a while, man. Like even in 18, we had some killers, but I think we're a little bit more dynamic.
Yeah,
we are more dynamic this year. And let's be honest, entering that Super Bowl year, nobody thought we was going to do anything that year. We thought we was going to be competitive,
bro.
But nobody, and that's what I'm saying. Like,
I'm trying to remember that.
Like
I can't remember what was this expectations.
I remember.
The Super Bowl year.
I mean, I know it was a Super Bowl expectation, but we were looked at as good, wasn't we?
It was
we were a good team.
Expectations.
No, it wasn't.
The year before that. The year before that, all we said was we knew Wentz was elite. All he needs is a number one target, and we gave him Alshon Jeffrey.
Oh my God!
And then we signed LeGarrette Blount and Jay Ajayi. It was like a complete team, and that was the best defense in football for like 3 straight years. The defensive line.
Oh yeah,
everything.
The defense was on point.
The reason. I don't think the expectations were Super Bowl. I think people said we can contend in the playoffs. But Super Bowl winners, I don't think nobody said that was our ceiling. I don't think nobody said that.
I never say that.
We were 50-piece in teams.
I think we were.
No, I'm talking about prior to the season.
Like when the season prior to the season.
Yeah.
During the course of the season,
not mid-season. Like
once we started moving.
Listen, I'm gonna be honest with you. Once we beat Carolina in that Thursday night football game, I said, oh, we could beat. I said we could do it for real. Like, cause I ain't gonna lie.
Getting busy.
I'm gonna be honest with you. When I saw Wentz getting that little huddle, get set, and come out like the Magic Man, I was like, "Oh yeah, we're doing it. It's the year. Like, it's the year." I don't know what it was. Something must have been in the water.
It was magical, bro. It was our year, man.
Yeah.
And another thing. It's two nuances to that season that people don't talk about that much. It's 2 injuries that changed everything. Aaron Rodgers' shoulder injury. And Ezekiel Elliott being suspended for half the season. That changed everything because Dallas wasn't as dynamic, so we was able to get up on them quick. And then Aaron Rodgers, him being hurt, that lessened the competition that we had to face going into the playoffs. So, like, think about really consider it. Like when it comes to win a Super Bowl, stars, you can't just be great. Stars got to align for you as well.
I think that's everywhere. I agree, but that's everywhere.
Yeah, NFL and NBA,
everywhere.
for sure.
Definitely need
but I think in the NBA it's a little. I'm not gonna lie. In the NBA, if you got the best team, for the most part, 9 times out of 10, you're gonna win. Like that's really the NBA is more
That's
set
how
up that
Doc
way.
Rivers got one. Yeah.
That's really how the NBA is set up. Whereas with the
Sometimes.
NFL talent doesn't always equate to winning because it's too many moving parts.
What about the Suns?
Too many up in the air. That's why I call it any given Sunday because it could just land wrong on one night. You're right. I get what you're saying.
You're right, Jay the Bull. You're right.
Yeah, for sure. Well, all right, guys. Listen, we've
Y'all
been up
funny,
here for an
man.
hour and 20 minutes, man. Always dope having you guys come on, man.
Listen, man, I love y'all, man. Y'all funny as hell. I love y'all, man. For real.
Tone the Shields, Jay the Bull, Unc Dove. All the links are in the description. Subscribe to
Smash the like
Talking
button,
Up
y'all.
Sports. I'm tired. Subscribe to Big Steppa Podcast. The links are in the description. Get your Manscaped 20% off of free shipping. Manscaped.com. Promo code no intro. Until next time, my people.
4-point play. We out.